What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Jessie Thorough, and I'm coming to you right now with a reaction video. Today's reaction video is going to be called Top 10 Creepy Stories Too Weird for the X-File. And why that is, I don't know. Because I'll tell you this, if you remember correctly, after watching some of my other videos, listen to me and listen to me good. I do not pre-react. I don't know if you know what I mean when I say that. But pre-reacting is me watching the video and then recording it so that I can be like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to, jump and all that kind of stuff. But as you can see, your girl is upgraded. My videos are now behind me. They're no longer up here with a little screen, the little, the little square thingamabob. So, yes, people, yes, I have a green screen. Yay! And I finally figured out how to use it. So, we're gonna get into this video. This is top 10 creepy stories too weird for the X-Files. And if you're familiar, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this channel, but it's called Top 10. They just take stories, YouTube clippings, and things like that, and they put them all together so beautifully for us and our enjoying viewing pleasures. Okay, they what's the word I'm looking for? They summarize the clips so that we can understand as the viewers. Okay, so if my picture looks weird, let me remind you, I am new to this. Okay, if I'm not turning in the right direction or anything like that, I really don't know what to tell you. As of right now, I'm sitting off in the corner and I'm really hoping that you guys are able to see the video just as good as I am. Okay? Alright. Thank you for your time, your understanding, and let's get into this clip. And I only plan on doing this once. When I say doing this, I mean explaining to you guys. Okay? Only once. I'm still learning. So if it looks weird, understand why. Okay? I'm still learning. Hopefully I get it right. Okay? Because I'm YouTubing these videos, trying to set up my equipment right and everything like that. So let's get into it.
I think we all have had a run-in with the paranormal at least once in our lives so far. I certainly have. And so have the people I'm going to talk about on today's list. From a family being haunted by a skinwalker to twins who have repeatedly been abducted by aliens. Let's talk about these creepy stories and more only on today's top 10 list. Starting off this countdown, we have The Visitors. This story was shared by Terrell Copeland, a former US Marine. His story is fairly creepy. So it all began a couple of years ago when he saw what he believes to be a UFO, and he captured it on his cell phone. He described what he saw as an orb of light. It was just a big ball of light in the sky that would change colors. He felt uneasy about the whole incident, but he later posted the video to YouTube. And that's when he was visited by something very scary. One day he woke up from a nap to someone trying to get into his apartment. He grabbed his gun and approached the door. But when he did, his whole body froze. He was paralyzed and all he could move were his eyes. And then he heard someone say, "You don't need that weapon. We won't harm." Soon after this encounter, he started missing time. During a span of 2 nights, he missed 4 hours. And not because he was sleeping. He just doesn't know where those 4 hours went. But he links this all back to the day when he saw the UFO and uploaded the evidence to YouTube. In our ninth spot, we have the Skinwalker. And if you got...
Hold hold on. What? So for a couple of nights after this visit, you lose 4 hours and you don't know what you did during those 4 hours? That's a little weird. It's extremely weird to me. So do you think that during those 4 hours that this thing that came into your apartment that first time came to you 2 more times? I mean, I don't know.
If you're liking this video so far, then make sure to give it a big thumbs up because it really helps us out. So this story was shared by a 14-year-old boy named Lee on Glenn Washington's post called Spooked. This incident happened one night when he was driving home. While driving, he saw something quite odd at the side of the road. He described the creature as being tall and very thin, with long arms and legs. Its shoulders, arms, and legs were all covered in fur. The creature then started running towards his truck with his arms swinging. And this thing was fast. Lee was going 65 miles an hour and it still managed to keep up with it. To this day, he believes that what he was being chased by was a skinwalker. What's scarier is that both his grandfather and father have seen it as well and have had similar experiences with it. So now he lives in fear that the skinwalker is coming for his family or something. In our 8th spot, we have the radio station ghost. This story comes from a man named Guillermo who works at Radio Centro in Mexico City. Now there have been long-time rumors about that place being haunted. Some say that they have seen ghosts roaming the halls. Well, one night he was hosting a show when something very creepy happened to him. He pressed a button and instead of it playing the recording for a promotion, it started playing very loud, creepy organ music. Then all of a sudden the temperature in the room got really hot. And then as he tried to turn down the organ music, he felt something press up against his back and breathe right in his ear. Then he felt something start to squeeze his head from behind. Finally, he pushed himself away from his desk and freed himself from this entity that was tormenting him. And at number 7, we have the marked one.
Wait.
This next...
Stop. I had to pause. First of all, what you not gonna do, your little son, monkey's uncle, whatever the hell this thing is, you not gonna push me. You not gonna squeeze my head, my nigga. And you gonna change the temperature in the room on me? I pay my bills. Don't judge me. But yeah, that's crazy because why? Organ music though? Oh, you had a demon in there. Organ music. Entity, yeah, that sounds like a demon. I don't like that one. That's creepy. That's really creepy. So let's get back to this.
It was shared by a woman named Stace Tussle. Stace finally shared her experience with extraterrestrials. Obviously, she was hesitant to share her story because there are a lot of non-believers out there. So Stace is fully convinced that she has encountered ETs, and she has scars and marks on her body to prove it. She's had multiple sightings of aliens, but then would also wake up to random, unexplainable marks on her body. One time she woke up with 3 red diagonal lines on her body. Another time she woke up with clear handprints and fingerprints on her body. She has no idea how they got there. So she now calls herself an experiencer rather than an alien abductee. That's just very, very freaky. Like, you don't know what they're doing to you while you're just trying to sleep. In our 6th spot, we have the haunted doll. When you hear the words haunted doll, chances are you'll automatically think of Annabelle the doll or Robert the doll. But in this case, a family was haunted by a Disney's Frozen Elsa doll. So when they first got the doll for Christmas in 2013, everything was fine. The doll would sing Let It Go and say lines from the movie Frozen when a button was pressed on her necklace. For 2 years, the doll was fine and would recite everything in English. Then in 2015, Elsa started alternating between speaking English and Spanish. Again, this was never a feature and the doll never spoke Spanish before. Then the doll would randomly start to sing even when it was switched off. In 2019, they decided to get rid of the doll, so they tossed it in the garbage. A week later, the doll was back inside their house, just chilling on the bench in their living room. At that point, the doll stopped speaking English completely and would only speak Spanish. Eventually, they mailed it to a friend in Minnesota, and it hasn't come back to them yet. So, there's that. But that's one haunted doll. Like, they really needed to let her go. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with the Haunted Inn. So this story was shared by Reddit user bright_eyes10. According to her, when she was 15, she went to Europe with her family. They stayed a few nights at a small inn. Her parents had a bed on the 2nd floor, her sister had a room next to her parents, and she had a single room by herself on the main floor. Well, one night during the middle of the night, she woke up to something ripping the covers off of her. She was then pulled towards the end of her bed by her ankles. She turned to see who had done that, and all she saw was a dark, weird shape standing at the end of her bed. The freakiest part was that her door and windows were both locked from the inside, so it's not like someone had just come into her room. She then hid underneath the covers for the rest of the night. The next morning, while eating breakfast with her family, her sister said that during the middle of the night, she saw a black silhouette of a person in her room. When she turned on the lights, no one was there. Needless to say, the family checked out that day.
Whoa.
That rhymed. In our 4th spot, we have the rocking horse. I swear, what's with ghosts and rocking chairs and rocking horses? I feel like they always tend to just scare us by moving those things. Anyways, this story is from Reddit user HereSaid. One night when she was around 10 or 12 years old, she was having trouble falling asleep. While she was lying in bed, she started to hear her rocking horse start moving. It was all the way across the other side of the room, but it slowly started rocking and moving across the floor. It made its way to the middle of the room where it just stopped out of her bed and playing with her toys in the middle of the night. Apparently her parents had heard the rocking horse moving as well. Of course, they didn't believe her when she said that she didn't touch it and that a ghost fully did that. Coming in at number 3, we have the trickster. Reddit user Scarlet Beeswax claims that she used to live in a house that gave her the creeps. Every time she walked up the stairs from her basement, she would get goosebumps at the back of her neck. As a result, she hated going down to the basement. But that's where her craft room was, so she did spend a lot of time there. However, some days weird things would happen to her. Like her craft supplies would just disappear, only to reappear in an obvious place after she had already searched the entire room. Well, one day while talking to her neighbor, she found out that the person that used to live in her house was an old man that used to love to prank people. The scariest part? He died from snapping his neck while falling down the basement stairs one day. Hello? The girl literally said that she would get goosebumps at the back of her neck, and this man died from snapping his neck? Too creepy. Way too creepy. Move out. In our 2nd spot, we have the twin abductions. This story was told by twins Audrey and Debbie. They live in a small town in New England. In order to protect their privacy, they didn't want their last names being known. But ever since they were young, aliens have made contact with them. They said it started when they were around 5 years old or so. They both remember a bright blue light shining into their room, illuminating it completely. Then all of a sudden, 2 figures came in. They described the figures as being tall with black capes. They were bald and had big eyes. They called these the Greys because of their grayish skin. They remember being abducted by the Greys a number of times. They would be brought into their crafts and see their house from above. Although the aliens would erase their memories, they both would still remember bits and pieces of it. The abduction continued on even now as they're adults. That is super creepy. I swear aliens are just running tests on them, like who knows what they're up to. And in our number 1 spot, we have the Axe Murder House. The Axe Murder House, or the Moore House, is a pretty famous house for the horror that took place there. On June 10th, 1912, husband and wife Josiah and Sarah Moore and their family were found bludgeoned to death inside of their home. The killer was never caught. To this day, this case remains a huge mystery, and now it's believed that their house is haunted. People that have gone on tours of the house have claimed to hear children's voices and screams. Others have seen objects move and fly on their own. But in 2014, something very scary and unexplainable happened. It happened to paranormal investigator Robert Stephen Lorson Jr. while he was touring the house. At 12:45 a.m., Robert stabbed himself in the chest while spending the night there. The freakiest part? The murders of the Moore family occurred at 12:45 a.m. That's the same time that the investigator stabbed himself. To this day, he can't explain as to what happened that night and how he got stabbed. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know which one of those points scared you the most. And now let's move on to our comments.
Okay, so the guy that stabbed himself, he still lived. Okay. Phew. That's crazy. Look, I'm just going to end it right there because all they do is shout outs at the end of their videos to the people who send comments and things like that to their channel. So if you want to shout out, like, share, subscribe, comment down below. What's my next reaction video? You have to tell me. I'm tired of picking it myself. So, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe. I have other videos already on this channel. Don't hesitate to go watch them. Drop a comment. Let me know what's next to put on my lovely blue screen. Green screen. So that you guys can help me learn how to use this thing. I hope I did it right the first time. So, love, peace, and happiness to all of you. And more to come. Plenty more. Because YouTube is just full to the max. And then some of something I can react to. So it's up to you, my lovely viewers, to tell me what to react to. It's your turn. Alright? Peace out.